As an architect of £32 million projects and a design technology teacher of electronics, engineering, graphics, designed to the scale of an average ADHD child's attention span, my 3,000 square foot, 280 metres squared, to those of us in the 20th century, 21st century, will keep me occupied and not out of trouble. If you think you might perhaps like a train wreck of a podcast, this shows every likelihood of being a slow motion car crash of a channel. There's no trickery. All clickbait thumbnails have some poetic quick link to humorous parts within any of the particular videos in general. Relevant to content, a lot of it's gossip type stories, dilemmas, giving you a window on a niche in life that you wouldn't necessarily have discovered. Topographic pinch point, feudal gatekeeper power house.
Radio station très fort, très pure.
Where I live, it's like a gateway to the playground of the Alps. And if you were to expand that a little bit, you could say that Annecy is a bit like a gateway, an intersection to the Western Alps more generally. You've got the Chamonix Valley, and then another turning to the Tarentaise Valley. The thing is, though, that this makes Annecy a bit of a huge, not so attractive in places, spaghetti junction of motorways, highways, whatever you want to call them. But they're all quite urban, so it's all quite tight. You can easily overshoot your mark. And it's not the case of doing another circuit, you're just lost then. But once you get down into Annecy, there's a fair few streets that look quite similar, but it's nice, genteel town. And when you get to the old town, it's just pricelessly beautiful. There's this new development on the waterfront, just near the Hotel de Police. For a couple of years now, this has been just a hall with a huge handmade escarpment with a hotel perched on top of it. In this hall, they've put some apartments that, as when you were going up, you would think that it was new municipal offices. It's sort of quite futuristic looking. Generally, I think of Annecy as quite conservative money. They've got to be expensive apartments. Such a huge amount of money has gone into the office. It's a good example of French architectural vision and how status can make things happen. In Britain, money is the status. So, and so they know that the area can command a premium, so they can put the money into creating the underground parking that the prefecture demands. There's international money comes to Annecy. It's a beautiful location, and it is a privilege to drive around either coast of the lake. It's sort of like a camping coast on the far side, and then even in the rain, when you can't see for the mist, the mountains that rise up out of the lake, it's a privilege not to take that peage. Slow down and get a view of the chateau on the pinnacle, peninsula jutting out onto the lake, after you've stopped at the most precious local produce spa shop just before it, next to the church. And I've had a couple of seasons of this, and that has been... I'm reminiscing, really. Always going like a pending away. I've seen the lake in every mood that it's got to offer me. Progress of the barn conversion is ad hoc as finances allow. Scrounging materials stretches resources. Living costs minimal but increasing with little luxuries. Brexit means I have to have a bank account. A bank account you have to pay for in France. It also means in order to have the carte de séjour I have to pay some sort of property taxes. Healthcare, that's another one. Healthcare you part pay for. You have to have insurance. Managed to avoid all these things before Brexit. But the things we do, the jobs we have done, the temporary agency work to get the funds in, to get back, to exactly where you feel you belong. Okay, I'd like to have a moan, but I do know how lucky I am. Oh yes, the build. So the 3 floors are in, and there's an extra just in case beam, and there's the mezzanine level in as well, the 2 beams, and all the close space joists are in, with the nice little corbels, cut corbels that I did. Is that a lamb's tongue shape? Then there's acoustic plasterboard on top of the joists, multi-foil insulation, and then the floorboards on top of that. So early on, I bought lots and lots of ply, intending using that as the floorboards, quality ply, but I'm always trying to improve the quality. I've got really quite a lot of 1.5 inch thick, weiny edged rustic floorboards, wall boards, jail boards, that I want to have as features in a all white floor generally, but the ply isn't 1.5 inch thick, obviously. I'm starting to think that it needs to be more rustic boards than white. The oak floorboards of the mezzanine level aren't down yet, but they will tie together with the rustic. Now, how to do the skirting on each level. The level below is the diamond pattern, diagonal, perhaps better described, pattern, 1.5 metre long, 2 metre long floorboards of 9-inch pine planks. Peter Piper picked a peck of picked pepper. Would it be overkill on the skirting to have pine skirting as well? I think tall white skirting there that I've managed to salvage from somewhere, and white skirting on the rustic and white floor as well. Perhaps I'll tie it in a little bit together. But then on the lowest floor, the mezzanine oak floor won't have any skirting really. On the lowest floor, there's like a beige concrete slab. Pleased with this 55 metre squared of floor. Troweling and troweling to a polish. Next day, wet, soak and polish again. And again. And you get it. And I don't know what type of skirting this should have. I think that might end up with these tall pine varnished skirting boards that I've salvaged from somewhere. But I'm just a bit worried at the moment that I might be kidding myself that this is all going to tie in. There is a sort of a theme to it. But the sobering reality is that I've laid all this knowing that I'm going to just jack up a couple of 3 or 4 of the beams, the steel beams that the joists are sitting in, because I want to improve the quality again. Rustic level, I'm no longer satisfied with. I want laser accurate level. Getting steel beams into the, often existing holes in granite walls, it's either up the size of a block or down the size of a pierre, a brick, a stone. You can't cut granite to get it exactly where you want it. It's going to be my granddad's old car jack that's going to do the trick for me. Friends are welcome, family by appointment.